Kyle Orton, he is the starting quarterback. The Bears have won 4 in a row. There is no quarterback controversy in Chicago. Reuben Brown missed the last 4 games. He is back and starting, the former All-Pro. He is an All-Pro. In the backfield, Cedric Benson makes his first NFL start. Thomas Jones, the leading rusher, is out with a rib injury, and that pass is complete to the fullback, Brian Johnson, who's ridden out of bounds at the 24-yard line, a pickup of 2 on the play. 49ers play a 3-4 defense. Bryant Young having an outstanding year, second in the NFL with 8 sacks. The 4 linebackers, you watch Julian Peterson. Derek Smith is the leading tackler. Andre Carter, good pass rusher. In the secondary, the former Bear, Tony Parrish, spent his first 4 years here in Chicago. He was a second-round draft pick and had some outstanding years here. Cedric Benson on the carry, gets a couple of yards up to the 26-yard line. Brandon Moore in on the stop with Anthony Adams.
Given to the young quarterbacks and given today, I want you to take a look at this. We're going to count the guys in the box. There's Parrish right here. This is, you're going to check out Parrish. He's going to come into the mix. This is him folding up inside here, number 33. And you're going to see a lot of 8-man boxes today where they bring the safety down, given the fact that the young quarterbacks, the weather conditions, and the running games.
Adrian Peterson, third down back, breaks through, and he's got a good gain up to the 44-yard line for a first down. Peterson had his best game rushing last week against New Orleans down in Baton Rouge. He's a good third down back, but we'll see him alternating with Cedric Benson throughout the game. 17-yard gain on that run.
Well, you're going to take a look. The hit's going to hit. This is the 34 defense. They're going to look. This is a draw play. They show pass first, and then they hit the draw. But there was passing routes downfield that took the safety out.
Benson goes straight ahead as the Bears continue to run the ball, and this is what they want to do. Control the football, establish the run, and especially going into the wind.
Let's take a look at the Bears offense. They are not staying in that huddle long. And I'm telling you, it is quick. They're in there, they count. Now watch, they turn and they get up on the ball, and there's been a lot of quick counts. That's quick counts do not allow the defense time to shift into anything else.
Quick straight ahead. Brian Johnson, the fullback, with a hard run. He was just activated last week. This is only his second game, his first start of the season. And been on the physically unable to perform list coming into the season.
Sammy, this is a growler game. You know, they come out there and you're going to hear a lot of it because of the running attack of both these teams. They come out at the quick snap. Take a listen. You take a listen to that.
They're growling.
That's the growling.
Here's 3rd and 1 for the Bears.
The Thunder rolls.
49ers 47. 2 tight ends in. Benson straight ahead. And he's down to the 45. And he's got enough for the first down.
You know, here's a clock we're going to put on it here. Take a look at how quick this huddle is when they get in the huddle. Now,
with his first NFL start, he's behind the fullback, Brian Johnson. Nice hole, and Benson gets down to the 40, picks up 6 on the play.
You know, Cedric Benson, he missed all the training camp. He wanted more money, he wanted all those things. But he's grasped the offense now. He understands his role. Take a listen to the power he brings. That's taking the blow to the defender. And when you're a defender, you don't like to do that. When you tackle a running back, you'd like to knock him backwards. It sets a precedence for the whole day. What he just did right there, he set the tone.
Hussein Muhammad in motion, and Benson cutting it back inside, gets across the 35 to the 34. Another 6-yard pickup. Last week, when Thomas Jones went out in the middle of the game against New Orleans, Benson came up with his best game of the season as he rushed for 79 yards. And Adrian Peterson ran it well. He had a 36-yard run and a 6-yard touchdown run. There's that 36-yarder, a beauty. So they have depth at running back. And this is Peterson bouncing it back, and he is pulled back. Good play up front. Actually, the linebacker, Jim Maxwell, in on the stop.
You know, Kyle Orton was talking about all the guys, Thomas Jones, Cedric Benson, Adrian Peterson, and he says, you know, they're all about the same. He said they're the same height. I don't have to make many adjustments in where I hand the ball off. They have the same burst, the same power, and And the offense, this running game, is really predicated on steps. You hit your point, your turn point, and then you take it downhill or you cut it back. So they're all running the same way.
On 2nd and 9, the play fake by Orton. He throws short. Desmond Clark. The tight end is out of bounds at the 21-yard line for a first down. Clark had a couple of games. We did one of them against Minnesota where he was outstanding. Then they got away from using the tight end, and Kyle Orton told us he wants to get back to using the tight end a lot more.
I think you're going to see a lot of tight ends today, and that's something that they were working on in practice. And when you need to get your more points involved, more passing involved, and you lose Mark Bradley and you lose Bernard Berrien.
Yeah.
Oh.
In motion. 2 tight ends in. It's Cedric Benson again cutting it back. Just a little cutback in the hole. It's down to the 21-yard line. He picks up 5 on the play. So Benson, his last 3 carries, picking up nice chunks.
Well, you know, changed his name to Bunsen. He's a burner. He remember the Bunsen burner. You remember old science class, the Bunsen burner?
Yes.
You're cooking things up and stuff. But watch him, Brand. Every time he runs the ball, he lowers his shoulder, and he runs kind of high too. But when he gets around contact, he lowers his shoulder and delivers the blow. He is always falling forward over top of the defender.
3 wide receivers in, Clark in motion, and it's Adrian Peterson. Slipped one man. Good job by Andre Carter fighting off the block and slowing down Peterson, enabling the rest of the defense to come up. Bruce Thornton made the tackle.
You know, Peterson is the one of all the backs that has a little bit more shifty to him. He shifts around a little. Here's Carter, and he's the one that's disruptive in this whole thing. He gets outside on Tate and comes inside and gets a piece. But Peterson's the one that has a little bit more knack to maybe bounce it outside some or cut and shift and dance around. Thomas Jones and Benson bring it at you.
3rd and 10. Everybody out. Orton throws and it's batted down. Looked like Anthony Adams got the left hand up and got a piece of the ball. It'll bring up a 4th down, and the field goal kicking unit comes on. So now we'll see what the wind does to the field goal kicker. Robbie Gold.
How about the snap and the hold, too?
You're going to spot it at the 29, a 39-yard attempt. The holder is Brad Maynard. The long snapper is Patrick Manley.
You see the way the flag's up top here. See which way they're blowing. Oh, the wind's picking up in a big gust right now, too. Big gust.
The snap, a tough one. The kick is away. Look at the wind take that one, Bill. Wow. That took it about 25 yards away from the upright.
It's by chance. It gusts at times. Right about the time that snap came up, there was a big gust of wind that blew that ball right out of the frame.
Maynard did well to handle the snap, and the wind blew the kick to another area code.
Watch the kicker. He actually gets blown over right here. Watch this. He gets pushed. The wind gust picks up. He has to take a step to steady himself and then take a look at the kick. That's like my driver, Sam.
No, not that bad.
Oh, yes, that bad.
Wow.
And that's when the wind's not blowing.
49ers start from the 29. Tank Johnson and Alfonso Boone in at the defensive tackles for the Bears. And the pickup up to the 31-yard line. Gale force winds are 39 to 46. Severe gale would be 47 to 54. The gusts we're told right now are about 33 miles per hour. Glad you're with us. 49ers and Bears scoreless. 49ers on 2nd and 7. Barlow takes it outside and gets it up to the 39-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 1. Nice run by Barlow. Nathan Vasher with the tackle. And there's a, I believe there's a flag on the play.
It has to be lateral.
4th penalty of the game for the 49ers. Chris Hetherington is in the backfield at fullback. Gore, the running back. First pass might have been tipped, but then it sailed high. I believe it was tipped.
Saved him a pass interference call.
Cody Pickett, a 7th round draft pick out of the University of Washington, was a special teams player earlier this season, but the 49ers ran out of quarterbacks. Their #1 draft pick, Alex Smith, the #1 pick overall, injured his knee. He's still out. They hope to have him start practicing this Wednesday.
Well, look at right now. Look at the situation. 3rd and 12. You saw the graphic there. They haven't gotten any better on 3rd down. The running game has not improved.
Terry Jackson, no gain. Jackson, the 3rd down back, is stopped by the middle of the Bears line.
And this is where you start to see that mentality in the game where the field position is starting to change. And now slowly, the Bears are getting themselves in position to have the short field.
Well, it looked like they had it on the last possession, and it looked like a sure 3 points. Bobby Wade is deep, had a good return on his last one. Third punt of the game by Andy Lee.
Look where Bobby Wade is lined up according to the punter. Outside by the numbers.
And in perfect position, but it bounces. He knocks it down, tries to return it, lost the football. Let's see.
I think it's 49ers ball. Yep.
49ers think so, and the officials point in their direction.
Red hat on the sidelines. He recovered the referee's white hat.
At the 31 of the Bears, Barlow straight ahead, fighting, breaks loose, and is brought down by Charles Tillman at the 24-yard line. Good run by Kevin Barlow.
Well, there are two main things on the punt returner's mind, you know? And here's 86. He comes in, he gets a piece of it and knocks the ball out.
Brian Jennings with an outstanding play. The 49ers' 15th takeaway of the season.
Jim Maxwell got a hand in there to help punch it out as well.
Barlow and Hetherington in the backfield. Hetherington, the fullback, shifts. Barlow carries and gets down to the 21-yard line. Bring up a 3rd. Well, it's very close to the 1st down line. Looks like he made it. Check out the spot, and he's got enough for the 1st down.
You know, today for the 49ers to be successful, they have to have manageable 3rd downs. And you see the percentage when you're 3rd and short, that's 3 or less, of success rate in getting the 1st down. Well, they haven't had that or created that yet on 3rd down. There's still been 3 and 11 plus.
Arnaz battle in motion. Frank Gore, the running back, the rush on Orton. He got rid of it as he was hit by Wally Agunlea. Time for an update from JB. Go ahead, JB.
Well, big day for Darren Sharper. Not so good for Eli Manning. His 2nd pick of the day here, Sam. Picked off by Darren Sharper. He returns it 92 yards to pay dirt. Wow. Minnesota on top of the Giants by the score of 7-0. That in the 2nd quarter. Back to Sam Rosen, Bill Moss.
Minnesota trying to stay in the race in the NFC North. And Darren Sharper, one of the best ball hawks in the NFL. Here the 49ers on 2nd and 10. Gore straight ahead, spinning for about 3 yards. Frank Gore, the rookie out of Miami, has done well in his rookie season.
And that's what the 49ers have to do. They have to get positive yards. 3 or more yards when you're going to run the football, and you know you're going to run the football, and the defense knows you're going to run the football. So they're stacking 8 and 9 men in the box, okay? But you can't be scared of that. You have to block them up and make positive yardage, because if you don't, you won't be able to have any kind of play-action pass off of it.
Here's 3rd and 7 for the 49ers. It's Barlow. He's got a nice hole. He fights for some yardage down around the 13-yard line.
And we go back to that 3rd and 3 or less. Manageable 3rd downs. And
1st and goal at the 9.
Only the 11th time this season. That's shocking.
Here's Barlow. Ran into Hillenmeyer. And there's no gain on the play. 2nd and goal at the 9-yard line.
It gets bottled up quick down there. That's one thing. It gets bottled up real quick. And now's the time where you'd like to see maybe a Fred Beasley come in and hammer you. Because as quick as it's getting closed down, you really need a hammerhead in there like Beasley to take it up in there at you. Beasley, of course, the fullback. And there he is.
Beasley and Barlow in the backfield. And it's Barlow, and he's hit by Urlacher. Beautiful play.
What a read by Urlacher.
Brian Urlacher, who's having a terrific season. You heard the guys on the pregame show, Howie Long, talking about him. He's having a great year.
Well, what? Here's Urlacher right here. All right, now I want you to wait 1 second. 1 second. Here's Beasley. There's Beasley, and Urlacher is tailing Beasley, knowing that Beasley is going to take him to the football. That's studying film. That's understanding what the offense is doing and finding a way to beat it before it starts.
3rd and goal from the 12. Beasley shifts. Barlow carries, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard. So now Nedney will come on again. Chris Harris leading the charge from his safety position. 6 quarterbacks were chosen before Kyle Orton. Alex Smith of the 49ers was #1 overall. Kyle Orton got a chance when Rex Grossman went down in preseason, and he's made the most of it. Lovie Smith told us today, Kyle Orton is my quarterback. Our team has won 4 in a row. We have a 5-3 record. Nice run by Cedric Benson. Up to the 47-yard line. Keith Lewis, who's playing for the injured Tony Parrish, took him down.
Take a look at Desmond Clark and John Tate. Clark is going to come in motion. Clark is going to end up right here on the outside. Here's John Tate. John Tate gets a seal. Clark gets a kick out, and there's your alley. Outstanding job up front, all the way across, gain of 18 yards.
On 1st down, Benson again fights his way for 2 yards up to the 49-yard line. Time for an update. JB has got it all covered, so let's go to him right now.
Sam and Bill, as you well know, folks were expecting this kind of proficiency from Detroit all season long. Joey Harrington to Roy Williams. Roy Williams had no catches last week. Today he's got 3, and that's his 2nd touchdown catch. Detroit on top 16-0. Back to Sam and Bill.
Joey Harrington getting a chance. Thanks, JB. Adrian Peterson with a good run as he replaces Cedric Benson. Gets down to the 49ers 44. He picked up 7. Benson has carried 10 times for 47 yards. Peterson has filled in.
Big blocks, big domination up front. I want you to watch Tate, and I want you to watch Ruben Brown. These 2 guys right here. They get up, they step, and then they get the seal on the linebackers. You just cut the defense in half. You see that, Allie? That's what cuts it in half. Their big bodies can get up. When they get up on the linebackers, they're used for speed. You've got them cut.
Orton off the play fake, looking for Clark. He's got him. Beautiful pass. Desmond Clark taken down at the 49ers 13-yard line. Nice fake by Kyle Orton. And the tight end is in the offensive game plan.
Run. Oh, play action. And there he goes right by the safety. Because you watch 88 and you watch him, as I've been pointing out the entire game, down block, seal, motion, block, fake a block, and get up. And once he gets up, by the time the safety realizes it, who I might mind you, that's I believe Keith Lewis, who was in for Tony Parrish, he's got him beat.
31-yard gain on the play. Here's Benson busting inside the 10 and down to about the 7-yard line. The Bears offense has come alive. They suddenly look very crisp in everything they're doing.
Well, they're hammering them. They are hammering them up front. And the 49ers have stayed in games primarily through their defense. Last week, they battled the New York Giants all the way into the 4th quarter for a 4-point game, and then they lost it. It fell apart on a Cody Pickett touchdown interception turned into points. But I think they're wearing down. And right now, Chicago's taking it to them.
Here's Benson, but Isaac Sofuaga with a nice play getting inside and stops Benson for a 2-yard loss. Sofuaga had replaced Anthony Adams.
Sam, when your offense...
And we've got an injured player. Cedric Benson is slow getting up here.
That's not good.
We've seen 2 nasty injuries today. Earlier, San Francisco's Tony Parrish, and right now Cedric Benson, the 1st-round draft pick of the Bears, is being helped to the cart. Watch this, Bill.
Watch his right knee. It gets caught in the turf and gets wrapped up, and it's just going to be one of those things that's going to cost him a couple weeks.
You only hope it isn't worse than that. Cedric Benson had 12 carries for 50 yards. Thomas Jones is there. Check out his teammate. Jones inactive with bruised ribs.
I hate to see that. You know, the kid really just gets his first chance to really start. he's earned the right to start in the aspect that not only because Thomas Jones is hurt, but he's gained knowledge of the offense due to all the time he missed in training camp. And boy, did he come out of the blocks just running hard. I hate to see that happen to a guy.
So as Bill mentioned, Adrian Peterson now becomes the lead back. Probably Jason McKee, who was activated today, would be the next tailback. Here's 3rd and 7 for the Bears. At the 10-yard line, 3 wide receivers in. Gage, Wade, and Muhsin Muhammad. Desmond Clark, the fighting motion. Here's Peterson. Nothing there.
Peterson.
That's right. The other Peterson, Julian Peterson, no relation, made the stop. And here comes the field goal kicking unit. Let's see what Robbie Gould does here on the other side of the field. How do you play the wind down here?
Well, he still has, it's still blowing the same direction across the field.
Okay.
And now he's got to just leak it out a little bit to his right and shoot the gas. But he's at a point on the field, I believe, that if he just boots it hard and straight, it'll make it through. There won't be that much play in it. 27-yard attempt. Brad Maynard is the holder. Patrick Manley, the long snapper. Wind's picking up. Tough snap. Maynard in trouble, throws for the end zone. It's batted down. So once again, the Bears come away with no points. Wow. You get a good grip on it. 49ers start from the 9. Beasley and Barlow in the backfield, and Barlow is thrown for a loss. How about that penetration by Alex Brown? Wow, did he get in there in a hurry. Bears defense doing the job. 49ers with a 3-0 lead. Sam, you talk about this Bears defense and where they are and where they rank and scoring and in the red zone. And you hear so much about the Tampa 2 and the teams that run the Tampa 2 and the effect that they are having on the National Football League and playing defense. And when you come to the Bears, they are just so aggressive in what they do under the confines of a Tampa 2. This is the result all the time. Tank Johnson in a tackle on 2nd and 12. It's Barlow, and Urlacher's got him. Urlacher's got him at the 5-yard line. Again, leading the charge. Okay, I want to do what? Here's Beasley, okay? Now here is Urlacher. Now watch. He is honed in directly on him. His eyes are directly on him. Watch him follow him to the ball. See him skate, 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 skate. Now he gets to the ball carrier. That's what Brian Urlacher is looking at. He's looking directly at the fullback. He knows the fullback is going to take him to the ball in this offense. He gets to the ball, then he wraps up the ball carrier. They've got to get to the 19 for a first down. It's Frank Gore, and he won't get there. He is stopped. A combination of Tank Johnson and Brian Urlacher at the 8-yard line, and the 49ers forced to punt. Good job by the Bears defense again. Only the turnover has hurt the Bears. Their defense has been terrific, but the turnover by Bobby Wade trying to return a punt. Well, a couple things here. You're going to want to watch the depth of the punter on this punt because he's backed up in the end zone. Now, I don't think you come after this punt just because of the fact you're going to get great field position. Andy Lee 7 yards deep in his end zone. Bobby Wade waiting. Good punt. Wade at his own 49, but he's got to return with a couple of blockers. He reverses his field and gets down to the 33-yard line. Nice return by Bobby Wade. There's a scramble. The ball was down, and it came loose. It's a fumble by Wade. His second of the game. The 49ers have the ball. They came up with fumbles for Bobby Wade. 2 tight ends in. The toss is to Frank Gore, led by Hetherington. Not much there. Maybe no gain. No gain on the play. Once again, Brian Urlacher involved. Mike Green came up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Brian Urlacher, who missed 7 games last season, but has been leading the defense. And one thing that Ron Rivera said is that his presence forces teams to change what they want to do. That's what he knows. Terry Jackson is in and split out. This is Gore carrying. Nice gain up to the 40-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play. 3rd
and 5 coming. Timeout Bears.
The Tampa 2 is you have 2 safeties deep, and they're going to be a shell, and that means it's hard to get over the top. But everybody is lined up in their position every play at the snap of the ball. Now, what happens is when the receivers run downfield, the defensive cornerback will carry him to a point of about there, and then the safeties roll over the top this way, in that direction. That's the 2. And the Mike linebacker drops down the middle of the field to protect the middle. So it's not a lot of shifting. It's a lot of moving. It's line up and do your responsibility and play your position. And the deep shell of the 2 safeties is not allowing teams to get over the top on you. Teams that score big over the top, quarterbacks are always looking for single safety high because they'll bring another safety down in the box.
Here's 3rd and 5 for the 49ers. Bears have used up all their timeouts here in the first half. And it's Barlow and a first down. Nice run as he got them to the 45-yard line. Lance Briggs took him down. As we come down to the 2-minute warning. Attempted only 2 passes in the first half. He's 0 for 2. Frank Gore. Not much there. The Bears right there. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play.
You know, for the 49ers, they're not getting anywhere on the ground. To attack the cover 2, you have to hit the middle of the field because that's where your Mike linebacker is going to drop. You get the backs out there or a fullback arrow, or you get the deep ins or the slant patterns to take advantage of some mismatches. Deep in patterns, but that's where you attack the cover 2. You go to the middle of the field. And then if you go over the top, there's a window outside that I told you about in between the safety and the corner that if you have to go deep, that's where you want to hit it.
There's 2nd and 10 with Beasley in motion. And it's Gore bouncing it outside. Nice run by Frank Gore. Mike Brown grabbed part of his jersey, and then Brian Urlacher caught up and took him down. But a good run by Frank Gore to the 35. He picked up 19 on the play.
The cutback. Now, if you can remember Tampa Bay and you remember Indianapolis, watch. What happens is the backers, the safeties, they flow so hard to the ball that when you cut back, they over pursue, and there's nobody there. So the cutback sometimes works, but you have to make sure they're over pursued.
Here's Frank Gore straight ahead. He gets a yard. 49ers have all of their timeouts remaining, but they're letting the clock run down. Now they use the first of 3 timeouts.
And you go over the top.
2 tight ends in on 2nd down. It's a pitch back. It's fumbled. And it's recovered by Frank Gore. Almost a disaster for the 49ers.
I said touchdown by the Bears. I mean the big play by the Bears to Desmond Clark downfield. And they create their own problem.
3 wide receivers in, and they run it with Barlow. And he gets inside the 35 to the 34, bring up a 4th down. Let's see what Mike Nolan elects to do here.
Keep an eye on these flags. They're blowing in this direction, the wind is.
He's got a strong leg, but a tough wind, and here it goes, and he hooks it. Does it have the distance? No. Comes up short. Came up 4 yards short. It's being returned by Nathan Vasher, who spun away and goes to some open space, and he's got some blockers, and Vasher is going. Vasher needs 1 more block, and he's got it. Nathan Vasher, touchdown Bears. Do you believe that?
I told Stan the wind was going to cause some crazy things that you may have never seen before in a football game, and that clearly did.
108 yards. Joe Nedney can't believe it. What a return by Nathan Vasher. 108 yards on a missed field goal. And that is the longest return of a missed field goal in NFL history. Look at this.
He was thinking about taking a knee too to down it, but he knew that the time was running off the clock. And he bounces on that spin, and he gets to the far sideline. But look at all the orange jerseys in a wave right here. And then when they see he's got a chance, watch him pour it on. Unbelievable.
What a return. How about Urlacher? He was down the field blocking anybody he could see. Extra point is good. It brings a huge cheer from the crowd. Robbie Gould puts it through. And the 49ers shoot themselves in the foot. The Bears get a tremendous record-setting return and take the lead. Got a strong leg, but a tough wind, and here it goes, and he hooks it. Does it have the distance? No. Comes up short. Came up 4 yards short. It's being returned by Nathan Vasher, who spun away and goes to some open space, and he's got some blockers, and Vasher is going. Vasher needs one more block, and he's got it. Nathan Vasher, touchdown Bears. Do you believe that?
That side of the goalpost, as you see, he's sitting there waiting for it in case it did come up short. He knew he would have the ability to return it. He almost took a knee in the end zone to down it. And he said, what the heck? He brought it out, and then he got that wave right about there in his run. And then when the people, his teammates, understood that this guy's got a chance, they poured it on. Nice block at the end by Urlacher.
He was running out of gas, Bill.
Yeah. Well, 108 yards away. I think we all would run out of gas.
Nathan Vasher. They have to throw the ball on occasion now.
I expect to see more play-action pass, probably out of these tight formations.
Here's Barlow on the toss, and he reverses and gets up to the 24-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline where Jill Carlson is standing by. Jill.
Well, guys, I just talked to San Francisco 49ers coach Mike Nolan, who told me, given the demoralizing touchdown just before the half, he told his team to hang in there. It's all about mental toughness in the second half. They'll find the way to get the points back. Quick injury update. Tony Parrish, the safety, is out. Broken left fibula. He remains here. And Cedric Benson, running back for the Bears, out with a right knee sprain.
Thank you, Jill. Here's Pickett. He wanted to throw. He's looking downfield.
Nobody's open.
And he takes it and is shoved out of bounds at around the 26-yard line.
There's not much more Pickett could do, because he was looking. He had it was the West Coast offense routes. He had 3 receivers flooded to that side. You had short, medium, and long, and they were all covered up. There's nowhere he could have gone with the ball. It was actually a good decision on his part with the conditions to pull down and get a few yards out of it and keep yourself with a workable, at least workable, third down instead of a force for an interception.
It's 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers in. 49ers are 1 for 8 on third downs in the game. Pickett gets time.
He's got it.
And he lets it fly. Brandon Lloyd is there, and he's got it. His first completion of the game. Down to the Bears' 45-yard line. Charles Tillman was covering a 28-yard gain.
Charles Tillman falls for the out and up. And that's when Lloyd gets behind him. Lloyd was matched up one-on-one, no safety help over the top with Tillman, and he gets down and out and up.
Brandon Lloyd, the leading receiver for the 49ers this season. Kevin Barlow and Fred Beasley in the backfield.
Hot dog wrappers everywhere.
And here's Barlow. Not much. Bears stuff him. No gain on the play.
I showed you that before with number 40 and how in this run offense, he's going to take you to the ball. I mean, there's no question about it. Fred Beasley is here. Now, I want you to watch the linebackers, which are going to just key him. They're taking him to Beasley. And Beasley is going to be the lead blocker. He's a tough blocker. He's a big bully type, wants to get up in your grill and lower his head on you and knock you to the ground. But the thing of it is, he's taking a toll right there. He's going to tell you where the ball is.
He's off the field. Barlow running, takes it down to the 42-yard line. Brian Urlacher with the tackle. Bring up a 3rd and long for the 49ers.
And it doesn't matter who's in there. If Hetherington comes in, then that's the same scenario. But if you take a look at Urlacher, I want you to watch him, and I want you to take a look at the fullback. Well, I did it again. Take a look at the fullback right here. He's going to go to it. And when he goes to it, he gets back up in there and can make a play. Now, what you do off of that is you need some more scissors play, misdirection play, things that don't let you clue in on the fullback is going to take you to the ball.
Two tight ends in, 3rd and
Blitz.
7, 3 wide receivers, excuse me. That
Flag.
pass is thrown low.
They're going to get Alex
for
Brown.
Brandon Lloyd. It's incomplete.
I mean, they just keep coming after the young quarterback and the run game. They don't care. They're blitzing.
It's Barlow getting by Alex Brown, turns it into a big gainer. Barlow rumbles inside the 10-yard line. Right down to the 10 is where they'll spot it. Good run by Kevin Barlow. Picked up 17 on the play.
Well, you're going to take a look here at Alex Brown. Alex Brown is going to be right here. And he's going to come crashing down inside. He has a clean shot there to wrap it up, but what happens is Barlow sees it. He sees it and makes that adjustment to the outside. Alex Brown has contained on that side. He can't let anybody get outside of him. You saw the result when he did.
1st and goal at the 10. It's Frank Gore, but he ran into Hunter Hillenmeyer, and he had Tommy Harris holding on to his ankles. So that's a loss of a couple on the play.
Chicago at home is they like to blitz more. They're more comfortable here. 38% blitz at home, on the road 28%. And I think that goes with just saying when you're on the road, you might have to play things a little bit more conservative. You're at home, you got your crowd noise on the offense, you got Mike Brown, you got Urlacher, you got these guys, you can send them away. You don't have that advantage.
Mike Green is in at left cornerback. Play fake by Pickett being rushed. He throws incomplete. Green got his hand on the ball. The pass intended for the tight end, Billy Badgema. 3rd and goal from the 12. 3 wide receivers in. Barlow in the backfield. With the crowd loud. Quarterback draw. And they've got it. Agunlia with a tackle. Drops Pickett for a loss. And that could be some valuable yardage there considering the wind conditions.
This cannot happen when you're running offense. They have a 1, 2, 3, 4-man rush, and that is all. Now you have 5 offensive linemen. This should not happen. They run a stunt with Tommy Harris and Ogunglier, and it never gets picked up.
Seeger and the Silver Bullet Band. Adrian Peterson running into the wind. Gets a yard on the play. JB, no wind in his studio. We're going to go to him in a little while. If you joined us late, Cedric Benson injured, sprained knee in the first half, out for the remainder of the game, will be reevaluated tomorrow. It did not look good.
No, it didn't.
Thomas Jones is out with bruised ribs. Peterson and Johnson in the backfield. On 2nd and 9, Orton 4 for 7 in the game, completes to Justin Gage, just short of the first down marker. Now into the non-windy studio to JB.
I'm here whenever you call, Sam. After an opening kickoff return for a touchdown by the Vikings, the Giants answer right back, Sam Rosen, as Manning finds a wide open Amani Toomer. They narrow the gap, 14-13. That in the 3rd. Sam, I'm with you, fellow, whenever you call. Back to Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB.
Did he say Sam Rosen to Amani Toomer? I didn't quite catch that.
2 tight ends in, Desmond Clark and John Gilmore.
He knows a Giants fan, Sammy, doesn't he?
Peterson juggled, holds on, trying for the first down, and it looks like he may have come up a little short.
You know, this is a day in which, you know, guys like myself and Howie, we'd like to play in this type of game.
And that means 2 games, 2.5 games.
Such is the life of a punter, a kicker, and a deep snapper. Hanging out with all their buddies.
Oh, yeah? Nobody talking to him?
No.
Barlow, no gain on the play. Bears continue their strong rush defense. Tommy Harris with a tackle. Tommy Harris, who says he's like a sponge when it comes to learning football. He's talked to some of the great stars of the past, John Randall, the late Reggie White.
Right. Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Talks to John Randall and Warren Sapp, he said, on a regular basis. Because one of the first things that Lovie Smith told him is, you're the Warren Sapp in my defense. And then we told Lance Briggs, he said, you are the Derek Brooks in my defense.
Right now the entire defense slams into Kevin Barlow for no gain. As Bill mentioned, in the Fox Watch during the pregame show. The 49ers have never gone 3 games without scoring a touchdown. They're having trouble finding the end zone.
And Joe Nedney has kicked 9 field goals in the past 3 weeks.
3 wide receivers for the 49ers. Pickett out of the shotgun. Everybody out. Pass batted up in the air, and it is intercepted by Mike Brown.
Who else, right?
The flag goes up. Flag on the play.
Well, I think
the free ball, and Brown
afterwards.
was there. Actually, a couple of Bears were there, and I think Brown just out-muscled his teammate for the ball.
Brandon Lloyd is going to be right there. And the route he's going to run is a slant route. It's going to be an adjustment because they come with the blitz. Now watch. He is open. He has to hit that right there in the middle of the field. Instead, he threw it into coverage, and the ball was also tipped at the line of scrimmage. And once it was tipped, then, of course, when it's tipped in Bear country, it's Mike Brown's ball.
Brown's 3rd interception of the season, the 14th of the season for the Bears. So with the penalty, the Bears are down to the 16 of the 49ers. Adrian Peterson squirms his way through, gets down to about the 11-yard line.
Well, I don't know how much squirming there was, but, you know, he gets in that pile and he pushes the pile. And he also has that offensive line that the one thing about this offensive line is they play together extremely well as a unit.
And Muhsin Muhammad limps to the sideline.
Well, he got nicked a little bit in practice. He took a spill on Friday. He may have re-aggravated it.
On 2nd down, Peterson cuts back nicely, fights his way down to the 6-yard line. He's got a 1st down for the Bears. Brian Johnson, the lead blocker, with a good job of leading the way.
Adrian Peterson, watch him right here, and watch him have patience and wait on his blockers. You let the big guys up front do the job. See him setting that up. He sets it up, then he goes that way. He waits for the guys in front of him. And one of the guys in front of him is Brian Johnson, too, who is back from his injury. They waived Mark Edwards this past week, and he's part of the process in there, too. Right now, Jason McKee's in.
Muhsin Muhammad back in the lineup. Here's Peterson. And he gets to the 5-yard line, a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line. Shawntae Spencer, the right cornerback, made the tackle.
When I was talking about that offensive line and how they play so good collectively as a group, the one thing they do is they finish. You know, they're like the fly that won't go away. It's there, it bugs you. Some flies you shoo away and they're gone for good. But there's some flies that just hang around you and hang around you and hang around you. Probably depending on what you did that day, but all the same, still pesky. That's how that line is.
Peterson and Johnson in the backfield. Nice play fake by Orton. He throws. Intercepted. It's intercepted by Shawntae Spencer. Intended for Muhsin Muhammad. I don't know if the wind took it, but Spencer picked it off. Big turnover.
Well left. It's a combination of a few things.
Pass intended for Muhsin Muhammad, and Spencer comes up with the interception. Nice run by Frank Gore on 1st down. He fights his way for 10 yards. Outstanding run by Frank Gore. So the teams trade interceptions. The Bears have now turned the ball over 3 times in the game. Shawntae Spencer with his 2nd interception, and Kyle Orton has thrown 10 interceptions this season. 5 of them came in 1 game against Cincinnati, but you can see how upset he is with himself.
Well, he's upset for a couple things. One, he's a young quarterback, and a young quarterback's going to hold the ball to make sure the receiver's open instead of anticipating the opening. And then today you couple the wind, he held it even longer.
Gore this time is thrown for a loss. Wally Agunlea leading the charge up front. Number 93, helped up by Ryan Urlacher, and Lance Briggs was there as well.
The Bears have had some bad luck on offense when it's coming to put points on the board today. Twice it's been field goal attempts. One was the kicker, and the wind blew it all the way across. It looked like a bad slice. The second one was on the snap. The wind caught that on the snap, and he looked like he tried to force it as well. Couldn't handle the snap. No points there. And then in the red zone on a wide open play action pass, a combination of a few things caused an interception.
On 2nd and 10, it's Barlow. Cut back, reversed his field, and a good tackle by Alex Brown. Brings him down at the 32-yard line. The only touchdown of the game scored by the Bears on the last play of the first half on a 108-yard return of a missed field goal by Nathan Vasher. A record-setting return. 5 defensive backs in for the Bears as Jerry Azuma is on the field. Tank Johnson and Alfonso Boone in at tackles for the Bears. Tank Johnson, a teammate of Cody Pickett, the 49ers quarterback at the University of Washington. Pickett puts it up for Johnny Morton. He overthrows it. Morton was well covered by Charles Tillman on the play.
Boy, did they come in blitz.
But they're coming on. Here are the Bears. Adrian Peterson turns it into a big gainer. They catch him from behind. Shawntae Spencer caught up, but not before. Peterson gets down to the San Francisco 42. A 33-yard run.
Adrian Peterson, you're going to count the steps. He's going to, on his 3rd step, he's going to end up 1, 2, 3. Well, watch this. Right about that. That's when he takes it back the other direction. That's a zone blocking scheme up front. And that's what they did there. It's a little bit of a stretch. It 1, 2, and on his 3rd step, he gets the ball and makes his cut downhill. And that's when the offensive line has already done their job and cut the defense in half.
Peterson doing a good job. Bounces off his own man, gets down to the 40, picks up 2 on the play. JB's ready again. We're calling on him. Take it away, JB.
Hey, Sam, Coach Jimmy Johnson says you get healthy, you get well against Arizona. Joey Harrington certainly is. No question about Roy Williams as well. Roy Williams' 3rd touchdown reception of the day. Detroit 26-11 over Arizona. That in the 3rd. Back to Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB.
Thanks, JB.
Adrian Peterson, a career-high 78 yards rushing on 13 carries in the game. Cedric Benson was hurt in the first half. Horton had a little trouble with a snap. Puts it up deep for Muhsin Muhammad. It's overthrown. A flag on the play. Interference against Shawntae Spencer. That's a big penalty.
The big moose. Look, big Muhsin Muhammad. I got a couple things here. Was that ball catchable? It certainly looked like.
Niners, Bears at the 17. And here's Peterson trying to cut back, but a nice play inside by Marcus Douglas. We've Kyle Orton 5 for 9, 59 yards, the 1 big interception in the end zone. Play fake, in trouble, he throws low, good catch by Muhsin Muhammad. Muhammad wrestles his way down to the 13-yard line.
Roughing the passer.
There's a flag.
And again, it's a tackle at the knees, I believe, of Cody Pickett. I mean, Kyle will lead with the crown of the helmet. You know, how many fullbacks lead with the crown of their helmet?
From the 7, Peterson, nice cutback. He's in, touchdown. Wow. Adrian Peterson, who scored last week.
Flex, big boy. Go ahead and flex.
Nice run for the big touchdown for the Bears.
Well, go ahead and pat that offensive line on the back too now. Yeah, you're strong. Yeah, you got to flex, and you even got a meatball in that gun. But go ahead and take care of that offensive line because they've been dominating today.
Ruben Brown and Olin Kreutz leading Adrian Peterson with some good blocking up front. 7-yard touchdown run for Peterson. The extra point by Robbie Gould is good. Peterson with a touchdown run last week. His 2nd of the season right here.
Boing. Terrence Metcalf. Nice pull.
Kyle Orton and Olin Kreutz are developing a nice relationship, the rookie quarterback and the veteran center, Bill.
You know, and he said it's kind of rare. I mean, you always have a special relationship with your center if you're a quarterback just by hand placement alone, if you know what I mean, Sam. But these two are a little bit more special in personality. They hang out, they golf together, they're laid back, but they're both ready to bust on each other at any given point in time. And Kyle Orton said, which was amazing, he said that Kreutz has been the biggest influence on his overall play and preparation on what to go through than everybody and every coach in the organization.
Interesting. On 1st down, Cody Pickett fires, it's dropped. That ball was thrown well, and it was dropped by Brandon Lloyd.
Well, if you slow this down and take a look at Brandon Lloyd, well, first of all, they're not throwing many balls to the wide receiver in the last couple of weeks. But this is what happens when you take a look and you glance upfield at CMT. He's looking for the safety. And that's the cover 2 defense I've been talking to you about most of the game. There's a window there. Now, if you catch the ball in that window, you are going to get whacked by the safety. And Brandon Lloyd was clearly looking for the safety.
Mike Green is in at cornerback for the Bears. Pickett in trouble. And a nice run by Pickett. Green chases. Ball is loose.
When you get tackled from behind.
And the Bears hoping they had it, but one of the 49ers trailing the play got there.
When you get tackled from behind.
49ers ball.
And you don't
Adam
see it
Snyder.
coming. That's when you're susceptible to strips. And watch him hold the ball out there. He does not expect anybody behind him. There's a stiff arm, but right here it's going to come up from behind, and there's the strip. See that? Mike Green, a veteran guy, knows how to handle that. You wrap with one arm and you strip with the other.
The rookie Adam Snyder starting his first NFL game with a heads-up play to recover it. 49ers first down on their own 42-yard line. Quick outside, and the wind took that one, knocked it down. That's incomplete, intended for Arnaz Battle. JB is working overtime here. JB, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, I know Bill Moss will be upset at this. Take a look at Noeldy Moore on this punt return for a score. But watch number 18 in the blue jersey, the punter. He doesn't even try. Noeldy Moore goes by literally an arm's length away. Man, that was weak. Anyway, Minnesota Vikings on top, 21-13. Back to Sam and Bill.
You got that right, JB. I would not like that at all. And I guarantee you, if I wouldn't tolerate it, you know the person that would never tolerate it, Tom Coughlin. Woo, don't be surprised to see that guy on the way
Pickett on first down, throws long, and it's dropped. It should have been intercepted. Charles Tillman was right there, and it dove on him, and he couldn't hang on.
You know, Pickett, you can clearly see, has struggled with this wind every place he's thrown the ball. He has the wind with him here a little bit. You know, that's where the wind actually helped him, you know, because it held the ball up. No, it held it up. It's coming back for on both teams.
3rd and 15 with 3 wide receivers. They run the ball with Frank Gore. He slips a couple of tackles, gets up to the 46-yard line, short of a first down. Mike Brown makes the stop, and the 49ers are forced to punt. San Francisco 49ers last 4 weeks. You see the passing yardage, and that's with Ken Dorsey in there. First Alex Smith, then Ken Dorsey. Last 2 games, Cody Pickett. The San Francisco 49ers do not have a quarterback on their roster right now who's thrown a touchdown pass.
They got a good one.
Andy Lee's punt is dropped by Bobby Wade, but recovered.
No,
it's still loose.
Niners ball.
Holy mackerel, how about that? Bobby Wade muffs the punt. The 3rd turnover of the game for Bobby Wade. Left side. Play clock was winding down. They get the play off. It's Barlow, and he's hit. No gain on the play. Hunter Hillenmeyer leading the way.
Over the place.
Here's 2nd and goal. The play fake. Pickett rolling. He's got room to get in. And the Bears stop him short of the goal line.
Oh, my.
Urlacher and Agunlia leading the way.
My. Even on a fake where all the backers went to the fullback. And when Cody Pickett clearly had the edge, even then he couldn't get by. There's Briggs, he gets a hand on him, Urlacher, and Agunlia stands him up and dumps him back over.
3rd and goal at the 1. It looked like he had that whole side open. It closed in a hurry.
Well, and then now you have 12 men on the field. 12 men in the...
Barlow in the backfield. Pickett, short drop. Fires incomplete, intended for Brandon Lloyd. He was covered by Charles Tillman on the play.
And I'm going to tell you, too, they're short arms. They were alligator arms because Mike Brown was hedged over to that side. And once again, Brandon Lloyd saw that safety in cover 2. Here's Brown. He's going to be right here, and he's going to start sliding to that side. Now watch. See, that's alligator arms, folks. That's alligator arms.
And there was some question about whether Brandon Lloyd provided that fight. Adrian Peterson gets about 3 yards up to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Bryant Young with the stop. Don't forget, our second game of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader is coming up. Some of you will see the Green Bay Packers and Atlanta Falcons. Others will see the Rams at Seattle. And some will see the Washington Redskins at Tampa Bay. Right here, the Bears with a 14-9 lead. Peterson and McKee in the backfield. It's Peterson again. And he gets up to the 32-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 3.
Well, Sam, you go back and you're talking about Mike Nolan. And Mike Nolan, in his first year, trying to instill a new offensive philosophy, a new defensive philosophy, and overall team philosophy than what's been there for years. And then knowing that he's got to go out and start getting talent, more talent in the areas that he needs it. And I think he has all those areas nailed down. But he says, I can tolerate losing as long as there's a fight out of my guys.
Here's Orton on 3rd down, gets it out to McKee, and he's short of the 1st down. There's some fight there on the defense.
And that's a guy that'll fight you.
Derek Smith with a good tackle. A middle linebacker got over to stop Jason McKee.
And, you know, he has those all fingerprinted. He knows the guys who will fight. He knows the Julian Petersons, and he knows the Carter, and he knows Bryant Young and Derek Smith. He knows those guys. He's got some young offensive linemen that are coming up that he knows that can do the same. But he needs more guys at key positions with more talent.
Brad Maynard with his 4th punt of the game. Rasheed Marshall waits for a fair catch, and he fumbles the ball, and the Bears have it. Chris Thompson recovers the muff punt.
Have you ever seen the wind do so many things to one football game in your life?
Marshall kept moving and moving and moving and finally dropped the football.
Well, look where the ball...
Wide receivers for the Bears, and it's Peterson. And a good job up front by Bryant Young with Jim Maxwell there as well. Good job by the 49ers. Bryant Young, the veteran who started Notre Dame, grew up here in Chicago and started in high school here in Chicago. One of the top football prospects in the country.
Still.
And then went on to Notre Dame.
Still.
Yeah, he's still doing it. Ball's back at the 30-yard line. 2nd and 15. Orton rolling, chased by Julian Peterson, gets rid of it. Good catch by Wade. He's got it. It's inbounds. Inside the 20 at the 19. Bobby Wade gets a big cheer from the crowd as he's turned the ball over 3 times on his punt return duties.
You got a little stretch action, you know, a whole line and the fake handoff, the stretch action, then you have the bootleg out the back. And after that, you have 3 receivers to that side. Clark is underneath, you have Wade, and then over top of that, you have Musa and Muhammad. So you had a deep, a middle, and a short route all rolling to the sidelines, and Wade was the one that had the most separation from his defender.
3rd and 5. Everybody out. Orton rolls and throws short, and it's dropped by the running back Adrian Peterson with Mike Adams right there. So here comes 4th down. Let's see what the Bears do. They have not been successful with field goals, but they send the field goal kicking unit out.
It's been trying for them, to say the least. Here comes Gold.
Lovie Smith.
They had Gold miss one where the wind took it on a bad slice. Then they had the wind catch one on the snap, and Maynard couldn't grab it and get a hold of it, and then they tried to pass it and missed points. 6 points.
37-yard attempt. And the kick is good. Maynard had a little trouble with the snap. The wind was taking it. He got it down. Gold put it through. Bears 17-9 lead. 7:35 to go. 49ers start from the 31. Frank Gore hit by Chris Harris.
I was going to say, Sam, maybe in our pregame show. It blows pretty good in there sometimes.
I'm not going there.
But I got to tell you, seriously, there's never that I can recall. I don't know. I think I'm a pretty good historian of football. I go back and think about it. I've never seen the wind have an effect on a game like it has today in anywhere. I was talking to a couple members of the Bears that went back through the 80s that played on the 85 Super Bowl team. They could never remember a game in which it was this windy at Soldier Field.
Here's Gore again, and the Bears are right there.
And that's a heck of a lot of games when you're talking about the Soldier Field right here, right off the lake.
How about this one? 1985 playoffs, Giants and the Bears. Sean Landeta, he whiffed.
Because the ball blew over, and all those guys were talking about that game. And there was also a game they talked about with Joe Theismann, where Joe Theismann tried to quick kick it, and the ball went up in the air and blew back and only ended up being a yard.
That was Sean Gale picking up the ball, went in for a touchdown. Bears beat the Giants 21-0 and went on to win the Super Bowl. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 8. Pickett being pressured, throwing too high. Again, the wind took that ball intended for Brandon Lloyd.
That's a timing pattern.
Michael changed his name for it.
Oh, well.
Peterson carrying. Picked up a yard on the play to the 35. Now the Bears will be hoping to run out some clock.
Yeah, and they have the ability to do that too. And even though the offensive line for the Bears is really the key to their team, you know, and to what they do. When Rex Grossman got hurt, Lovie Smith went to that offensive line. He sat him down and said, guys, I need you to take over this team. For us to get anything accomplished at all this year, it's going to be on your shoulders. And they have responded in some kind of fashion. I mean, they really have. But even after they've done their job all day long, this is the time of the game they love.
Peterson on the carry. Nice little moves, and he gets across the 40 to the 42. It'll bring up a 3rd and short. Adrian Peterson getting very close to the 100-yard mark.
This is how offensive linemen high step to the end zone. This is how offensive linemen spike a football. This is how offensive linemen celebrate in the end zone in any way, shape, or form. Is when they have the game in hand and you're in the 4 and 5 minute category and you put the game on their back and you just run the clock out. That is their celebration.
3rd and 2. Peterson has rushed for 99 yards. And he's over 100 and a lot more. Adrian Peterson down to the 49ers 42-yard line. He picked up 16 on the play. His first 100-yard game of his career. With Cedric Benson injured in the first half, Peterson has become the feature back. And every time they hand him the ball, it seems as if something happens. 34-yard run. This was a 3rd and 2. And he turned it into a 16-yard gain. Nifty moves by Adrian Peterson.
And the clock's still running.
Who has scored a touchdown in this game. 1st and 15.
The longest return in the history of the NFL with no time on the clock before half.
That carry nets 0. And the 49ers played it tough, led by Julian Peterson, who's played a strong game. They've got the makings of a pretty good defense, Bill, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with Peterson and Derek Smith and
Carter,
Brian Young and Andre Carter.
Yeah. And you have to think those 2 young quarters have been playing pretty well as well. Jonte Spencer, Bruce Thornton, you know, not only can those guys cover you, but they're not scared to come up there and stick their nose in it, too. Mike Adams has been a nice addition to the team.
49ers, as you see, have 2 timeouts remaining. The clock running. 3 wide receivers in, and it's Peterson carrying. No gain, maybe a loss of a half-yard on the play.
BY on the play.
With help from Jim Maxwell. Now a 3rd and long for the Bears. You know, under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and you see that the thing is, though, they're still running the clock out. They're staying in the huddle. They're taking their time. San Francisco should really think about controlling the clock and understanding time management right now. They have 3 timeouts left, 2 timeouts left. And I know they're going to get the ball back, but don't let them use everything.
Peterson gets outside and is down to the 41-yard line. Julian Peterson made the tackle, and now the Bears forced to punt. Tank Johnson is in a tackle. Jerry Azuma is a 5th defensive back for the Bears. 3 wide receivers for the 49ers. The tight end motions. Short drop. Pickett throws for Trent Smith. It's low and incomplete. Tough to throw for the quarterback.
It's been, and every time he's gone to that sidelines, that ball's gone down because that wind is shooting down from the press box glass. It's blowing across the field. It hits that press box of the glass where all the suites are and comes straight down to the ground and then blows across to the Bears sidelines. Wind's blowing this way.
They run the ball up to the 17-yard line. Pickup of 2, Barlow carrying. And now, with 1.5 minutes to go, 49ers hurry up. They got to get to the 25 for a first down. Pickett steps up, in trouble, runs for it, down at the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. He's 2 yards short of the first down.
You got to get up.
Timeout, a 4th down play coming up. They have not gotten into the end zone today. 3 Joe Nedney field goals is all. And they missed some golden opportunities.
Blitz.
Pickett looking, throwing for Johnny Morton. The wind blows it away. And that's the story. One of the big factors of this game, the wind and how to play it. The 49ers will go down to defeat the Bears. It wasn't pretty, but they will win their 5th in a row.
Well, he went into the wind. It went to the ground. This time he throws a little bit with the wind, and it gets some heat on it. It just keeps going.
And for Kyle Orton, he goes over to the sideline to see some of his friends. And another win for the rookie quarterback. The Chicago Bears defeat the San Francisco 49ers 17-9. Remember that big return at the end of the first half. 108 yards. Nathan Vasher on a missed field goal for Bill Moss. This is Sam Rosen. Let's go to the studio to JB.
Thank you.